Hey, this will be a video chart on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Pretty wild day today. Right now, it's 3:45 p.m. Eastern Time, so we have 15 minutes left, and we are currently down 260 points, almost on the lows for the day. So if you do see this number over here moving around, you're not seeing anything. The market is still open. We have 15 minutes left. Uh, Obviously, a crazy day, so I want to get it updated as it's looking like we're getting this pullback here that I was expecting, and I'll explain why that is. I should have probably gotten a video up sooner to give some credibility instead of just sitting here and saying I expected it after the fact, but oh well. One of those situations where we had some negative divergences, and if you're familiar with those, you should kind of understand, why I would think that. But right now, just a big day pullback here. The one thing that's sticking out is volume isn't, absurdly high. So it's not like we're getting this pullback on a volume day like this or, one of these days. So on that note, it's not the huge amount of dumping or anything like that going on. But at the same time, it's not one of these smaller volume days either. But so from a volume perspective, kind of neutral, I guess I would rate it. So let's go to this negative divergences that I was talking about real quick. All a negative divergence is that when the price is making higher highs, these indicators are actually making lower highs. So for example, you see here we had just a very nice upwards move. But starting about right here, so we're going to look at this high, you can see that the price was still very clearly going up. However, each time the price was making these higher highs, look what this indicator was doing. It was trending downwards, making lower lows. And this is what a negative divergence is. This was in the RSI 5, which is one of my indicators that I like to use. But the other one that's more kind of universal is going to be the MACD. And for this, I'm going to shrink it up so you can see it better. But essentially, once again, you can see the price just making higher highs. But then if we start to take some of these lows, you can see that the price is trending down, and we actually have another negative divergence from here down to there is actually a little steeper line. Just so you can see that better, I'll use the actual tool. So we have one that essentially just goes like this, but then we also have this one where if I start it from there, I can draw a line like that. So two negative divergences within this, and now finally we're kind of start to see this kick in where the gas is looking like it's run out of the tank. That's essentially what negative divergences are. They're kind of warnings that, hey, fuel might be running low, so there may be some sort of pullback. Do they mean that the whole thing's going to reverse and tank? Absolutely not. It just means that things may be getting ready to pull back, let some profit takers out, and so forth. So right now, it's not panic mode or anything like that. We're still above our key averages, or excuse me, our key supports, but we are getting pretty close to an important one where it seems like every time we do break below it, we go on a deeper pullback. And that is this purple line here, the 50-day simple moving average. Going way back here, the one time we dropped below it, you can see then got about a couple week more decline right there. That went pretty deep. More recently, and then we had these two times where we bounced right off of it, which was nice, and produced very nice bounces. Then right here, we dropped below it, and you can see the deep pullback the markets occurred there. So that's essentially what we're approaching right now, and that's kind of the question that needs to be asked is what are we going to do when we get near this 50-day simple moving average? It's either going to, I think, give us a deeper pullback if we close below it like it's done in past history, or if we can get the bounce off of it, we'll probably shoot right back up here to above 11,200 and then just keep on chugging along. But for the time being, it's definitely just a wait-and-see situation. The other reason is, or the other key support, excuse me, I should say, is right around here, which is essentially basically the same thing as 200-day. It's this previous high over here, right around 10,730, we'll say, give or take a little bit. But this is definitely a key area of support. It was that previous high resistance, and then you can see when we did get above it, the big move followed. So right now in the short term, our key support levels are going to be the 50-day, which is currently valued at 10,820. And then this previous high here, which is at 10,730. Now, if the 50-day and this one fall, then I'm looking at a potentially deeper pullback to maybe right around this area down here, 10,400, give or take a little bit. I don't think we'd come all the way down here to test a 200-day. That'd be a pretty deep pullback. But this is another area of support here, and I think this would be the lowest we go. Of course, if some brutal news comes out in the meantime, maybe we would come down here and give this a test. But for right now, I think the lowest we'd go is right around the 10,400 mark. But either way, we'll have to see what happens the rest of this week. But today is definitely a brutal day. The Bears are winning quite a bit. I'm going to wrap this up, and we're down 247 with about 11 minutes to go in the market. Oil's everything's getting hammered today. I don't think there's anything up, but just one of those days. So we'll see what happens. But we've had plenty of these pullbacks before, and these deep ones here have continually produced. The past couple of years now, these big moves. So we'll see if this is going to be just a little temporary one or more of a deeper one, which will hopefully produce another big upwards move. So if there are any other questions on the Dow or any of the other markets, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook. And with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from penny stocks up to big boards. So there's a good variety of stuff for everybody. We've been making some good money together on our selections. So I'd encourage you to head to the website, sign up for the newsletter, and check it out and see what it's all about. One last time, this was the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Thanks for listening.